I want to say, guys, I've never seen someone do that before. Pretty intense.
Yeah, go run and tell him to come down.
How do you feel, Shawn?
You know, my dad's a genius. I don't say that just because he's here, and I don't say that just because today was a good day. I don't say that just because this was a good camp. You said it yourself. You've never seen anyone do this. And this is something that my dad developed. I've never asked my dad where he saw that. I always assumed he just did it himself. I've been doing this type of workout since I was 8 years old. Yes. And we have gone from doing it on the streets of Akron, the streets of Cleveland, the suburbs of Akron, suburbs of Cleveland, to now 9,200 feet in the air.
Also Colorado.
We've been in Colorado Springs where Bud is at. We've been there, done that. You know what I mean? Not to say he's doing anything old or anything like that, but now we're at 9,200 feet, and we're doing the exact same things that got us here. We're still doing them. So, you know, the question was proposed to me the other day. How do you, with everything you have going on and fighting everybody that you fought, how are you able to get ready for Bud? Like, why don't you feel content? Things like that. And just what I said, like, I know what got me here, and I know that everything has always had it served its purpose. And once the fight happened with Errol Spence Jr., and I was looking left and looking right, remember before I fought Errol, everybody was talking Crawford Spence. Nobody said Crawford Porter. And then after that fight, people started to mumble. I think I'd like to see that fight. And even though he and I are friends, even though we made that pact some years ago that we weren't going to allow anybody to force us into fighting one another, and, you know, everything, it goes on from there, I could not ignore what people were saying and ignore who I am and what I can do with my capabilities. So that's why we're up here 900 feet above the sea level. That's why we're still pushing to that red line. You know what I mean? And we go 100% with everything. And you know, I'm elated to hear you say you've never seen anyone do this, because at this point in my career, to still be doing this, still feel the way that I feel, and getting in the ring with who I'm getting in the ring with, I'm pretty damn happy.
And you're not tired.
No.
Normally people would be tired after
We don't use the T word. we don't use the T word.
They call it live high, train high, live low, train high, live high, train low. And when we started this camp, I was living high, staying up here, but training low. It's different ways to get the effectiveness of the altitude. And now we're living low and we're training high. Having not trained up here until this week, I already had in my mind, I don't care what the altitude feels like, I'm going to push through. But after the first workout up here, I didn't say anything to anybody, but I was just like, I'm almost ready. I didn't feel the altitude. And, you know, even if you are in really good condition, you still feel it. And I'm in great condition. So, yeah.
Kenny, like I mentioned, I haven't seen anyone incorporate just sprinting up and the pads and anything like that. You know, talk to me about his conditioning coming into this fight and how it's going to play a factor in the fight.
Well, it goes without saying, I guess people have known for a long time Shawn comes into a fight in great condition. And this is part of what has gotten him to that point. Although we haven't been training up here any recent fights, I believe the last time we trained up here would have been the Andre Berto fight. And there was a point in that fight where Shawn had Berto in the corner early on, and he threw so many body punches and so many punches. I literally said in the corner, damn it, he gonna wear himself out. But he didn't, and he came back to the corner and he was fresh.
Hey, I'm gonna just real quick, I come back to the corner and he looked over at the corner. He said, why'd you go so hard right there? I said, I don't know, I thought I had him. What's up? and we kept it moving. But my dad, he really was a little concerned. He was like, okay, that's not typical what we would do right there, but you did it, and I don't know why you did it, but all right, we'll keep it moving, so proceed.
So I've seen the results. I know the results. I was part of the 2012 Olympic team. I was technical coach for that team. I was involved with 2 quads, the 2008 team and the 2012 Olympic team. So I spent a lot of time in Colorado Springs, did a lot of tournaments there, a lot of training there. I was the guy that ran the guys. I was the guy that took them to the track. So they did all my workouts. So this is something that I know works, and we incorporated it again and took it to another level. And the level that we've taken it to now, I'm very happy to say that I'm confident he's in shape. But we're going to continue for the rest of this week and into next week. And our sparring sessions that we've had up here this week, a little bit slower than we normally would spar. I could see that, but that's the altitude and the guys having trouble adjusting to it. But once we get adjusted to it, you know, when we come back down to sea level to fight in Vegas, it's gonna be amazing.
Shawn, I gotta ask you this. Do you want this fight more than any other fight, more than the Spence fight, more than anyone because of Crawford's stature, because he's pound for pound?
You know what? I'm not gonna put the word more on it. I really wanted this fight for a number of reasons, and I think being able to have this fight made, those obstacles that come along with the promoter that you're with or you're not with, determining who you're gonna fight and if that ever happens and when it happens and all that. I think that there's a combination of things that have come along with getting this fight. And that's one of the biggest things there is that, you know, you look all the way across the boxing world and everyone will tell you that fight can't be made. And I tell everybody, my dad has been telling me to get back in the ring since January, want me to get in the ring in April or May. And then April or May, he's still talking to me, get in the ring, find somebody. I don't think it's going to be Terence, and I'm being patient and being faithful. And, you know, I just think it was the combination of how this fight has come, which has really just made me thirst for it, and in a lot of ways just kind of more hungry for it. But if you're telling me to rank this fight along the others, they've all served their purpose. They've all had their place in my life, in and out of the ring. So this is just the next big one. This is my next Super Bowl. So. But
do you feel this is a more complex puzzle because of Terence is such a cerebral guy?
Yeah. And I'm not gonna downplay it, but I'm gonna tell you. You asked me, hey, rank this one along with the other ones. My fight with Keith Thurman, he was the boogeyman back in the day when we fought, man. It's funny that nobody refers to him as the boogeyman now, but that it was what it was. And I went in that ring and I said, I don't care who everybody thinks he is. I know who I am, and I'm gonna show that. Same thing with Errol Spence Jr. Same thing with Danny Garcia. And so here's the next one, Terence Crawford.
Yeah, you know, that's interesting you bring that up because a lot of people, I guess, have that, like, oh, it's Terence, like, he's going to switch it up. Like, what is this guy going to do? Like, he's going to do this, going to do that.
Not me. And best part about it is I'm not playing mind games with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, you know, he's human just like me. I just look at him like he's that next piece to the link. You know what I mean? And I got to have that one.
Yeah,
gotta have that one.
I can tell in your eyes, man. It's
I can't. Like the closer we get, I feel it every day. And I haven't been this excited for a fight in a long time. At least not this far. I remember my Errol Spence Jr. fight. It was the week of when I was just started to get really amped. This one, I've been excited since the WBL made that tweet. So it's coming.
With that excitement, do you show? I guess. What Shawn Porter we see that night? What level do you go past of all your other performances?
Well, it remains to be seen. But just like this right here, this is a step further than we've ever gone before. We've never done this sprint workout right here. This is the highest we've ever done this sprint workout. So my dad always tries to increase everything in the training, increase everything in terms of the learning and everything that we do from a mental standpoint and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure you'll see something grand, but it won't happen until, you know, fight night.
One thing that's pointed out of me, and you guys can both answer this, that Mean Machine fight that he had, you know, he got knocked down and got hurt when Mean Machine went up and pressured him, and you know, you look at that and you see how you approach fights, and it's like Shawn throws way more intense pressure. I would say, you know, just as big, if not bigger puncher.
And for me, it doesn't matter who it is. I'm always going to play the devil's advocate. So in that situation, I say, all right, he probably underestimated this kid. Probably looked at him and looked at some film and didn't really take him too serious and didn't have his mind where it needed to be when the fight started. He'll have his mind where it needs to be when the fight starts. I don't expect this to be easy at any point at all, but I expect to make it as easy as it can be.
Kenny, can you take anything from that Mean Machine fight?
Yeah, you know, you can, but then I guess I agree with Shawn as well that, you know, maybe he looked at that guy and didn't think that guy was the top level guys. And I could see that because I'm quite sure other people look at him and see the same thing. As far as anything that I learned from that in particular, nothing in particular, but you definitely want to look and say, well, if this guy was able to do that, maybe we can do it as well. Or even more. So of course we've worked on those type of things. We worked on those things in the gym to exploit that if it happens, if it's there. And the beautiful thing about Shawn, and they were asking me that earlier today, ESPN was asking me, like, you know, what is the thing that Shawn can do that Bud can't do, or what is the thing that Bud is vulnerable for? I believe that Bud can do everything. And I believe that Shawn has the ability to do everything as well. In terms of him being vulnerable anywhere, I don't see him being vulnerable anywhere. But Shawn has the ability to do things in split seconds, in a second or two, and change positions and change movements and things like that, and be in one place and be in another. And I think that will give us an opportunity to be successful. Just the fact that, you know, we've got a guy that wants to work at a certain pace, and we don't work at that pace. You know, that's why we're here at 9,500. We're up 95 now. We were at 92, and I just asked them how much further we come up. They said, oh, we up another 500 feet easy. So we're at 9,500 feet. We don't work at other people's pace. We don't work at the pace that guys want you to work at. So when I watched the Mean Machine fight, I did notice that they were just working at a give or take pace. Yeah, give or take pace. Like, you do something, I do something. You do something, I do something. Well, Shawn is, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What are you going to do? And I'm doing something else. Disruptive. So, yeah, very disruptive. So, great fight. Makes for a great fight. The styles. This is, you know, what people I don't get, you know, when people say styles make fights, they don't really understand the term. The term, really, what it really means is a different style against this particular style will create a great fight. The other side of that is this style and this style may make a bad fight. In this particular instance, it makes for a great fight. We've already gone up against world champion Errol Spence, who is a left-hander. I'm not concerned about the guy we fighting left-handed. We've already gone up against a big, strong fighter. I'm not concerned about this guy being big and strong. Errol Spence is a big, strong guy. We've already gone up against speed, quickness, and power in Thurman. I'm not worried about this guy being fast or quick or powerful. We've been there. We've already been up against a big puncher in Danny Garcia. We've done all of these things. So the culmination of all those things, we're prepared for the fight. We will be prepared for the fight.
Shawn, it got to make you think, though, that if Mean Machine dropped him, you could drop him. And I just feel a lot of people get intimidated by Terence.
Well, simply put, Terence has met his match. It's not up to me to say things to convince anybody of that. 37 fights. Go watch it for yourself. Terence has met his match. If you don't believe it, I'm not gonna defend what I just said. What I'm gonna do is get in the ring, gonna fight now.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.